What are the marketing strategies you can't afford to miss in 2025? This episode of Undumb Marketing covers the top 25 must-have tactics for staying ahead in the fast-changing digital landscape. From AI and voice search to authentic storytelling and customer journey mapping, we dive into the game-changing strategies that will help your business thrive. Plus, we share the steps to implement these strategies in your marketing campaigns, ensuring your business stays relevant, authentic, and thriving. Welcome to the show.
Hey everyone, ready to really dig into the future of marketing?
Always.
We're diving deep into marketing musts, strategies for 2025 success.
Yeah.
And this isn't just going to be like some quick overview of passing trends.
Oh.
This is about finding those insights, the ones that can actually make a difference in your strategy.
Right.
So we're going to be talking AI.
Of course.
The power of stories.
Yeah.
Oh, and get this, the rise of voice search.
It's coming.
It's going to be fascinating.
I think what's really interesting about this report, the source, is that it goes beyond just, throwing around all the buzzwords.
Yeah.
Like, it really tries to create a picture of what marketing is going to look like in the future. And, it talks about how personalized it's going to be,
Right.
driven by some pretty sophisticated tech.
Mm-hmm.
And, one of the things that really stood out to me was it said something like 80% of brand engagements
Oh, wow.
will be driven by AI by 2025.
80%.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
That's a huge shift.
I mean, we all know AI is kind of out there,
Sure.
but to think that like almost every interaction we have with a brand is going to be because of AI,
Yeah.
that's wild.
It really changes the game.
So what makes AI so effective for marketing though?
Well,
Is it all about like getting those personalized recommendations like we see on Netflix?
that's definitely a big part of it, yeah.
Yeah.
The report actually highlights that 80% of consumers are more likely to buy something
Oh, wow.
when they feel like a brand really gets them.
Makes sense.
Right, so personalization is key.
Yeah.
And AI lets us do that personalization, but on a massive scale.
Right.
It's not just about recommending the next show you should watch.
Yeah.
It can go way beyond that,
Right.
It's imagine AI that can analyze mountains of data
Mhm.
to figure out, what trends are coming up and optimize your campaigns as they're happening
Wow.
and craft targeted messages that really resonate with, individual customers.
So it's about efficiency then.
Yeah, efficiency, precision, making sure that your marketing is really hitting the mark
Every time.
every single time.
So it's like having like a super powered marketing assistant
You could say that,
working 24/7
pretty much.
to make sure you're connecting with all the right people
It's at the goal.
at all the right times.
Yeah.
But let's be real for a minute here.
Here.
How are marketers even supposed to keep up with all this?
Mm-hmm.
It sounds really daunting.
It's a valid concern.
Yeah.
To get to this level of AI integration,
Right.
it will require, a real shift in how marketers think
Mm-hmm.
and what skills they need to have.
Okay.
But, I don't think it's going to be some sort of overnight revolution.
Yeah.
I think it'll be more of an evolution,
Okay.
right? You don't have to become a data scientist tomorrow.
That's good. Because I'm not one.
Right. But I think the key is to start exploring some of the AI-powered tools that are out there.
Yeah.
The platforms,
Mm-hmm.
Experiment with making your campaigns more personalized and gradually, start weaving AI into your existing workflow.
So start small.
Exactly.
Experiment.
Yeah,
Learn as you go.
that's the idea.
Okay, got it. Now, speaking of technology that's changing how we interact with brands, we got to talk about voice search.
Of course.
I feel like I talk to my smart speaker more than I actually type things these days.
Yeah, I get that.
Is this something that marketers need to be taking seriously?
It's definitely not just a fad.
No.
It's really changing how we search for information,
right.
how we interact with, the world around us.
Yeah.
Remember the example in the report about Domino's?
Yeah.
How they let you order a pizza with Alexa?
Oh, yeah.
That's a perfect example of how brands can use voice search to make things really seamless and convenient for their customers.
That's really clever.
Yeah.
I mean, especially for food delivery.
Right.
Like when you're already comfy on the couch,
Yeah.
you don't even want to get up to grab your phone, let alone type anything.
Or call. Yeah.
But is voice search really that common, though?
I think it's more than common.
Yeah.
I think it's going to become the main way that people search.
Wow.
By 2025, they say voice search will be like 50% of all searches.
50%.
Yeah.
That's huge.
It is.
That means if your website isn't optimized for voice,
Right.
you're potentially missing out on half of your customers.
It's true.
Okay, adding voice search optimization to my to-do list right now.
Good idea.
But hey, it's not all about algorithms and tech, right?
Right.
This report also talked a lot about sustainability
Yeah.
and authenticity.
Yeah.
What's the connection there?
It's a good question. I think consumers today, especially, younger generations, they want more from the brands that they support.
Yeah.
They don't just want, a product or service.
Right.
They want brands that share their values, particularly when it comes to social and environmental responsibility. And Patagonia is a great example.
Yeah.
They've built their whole brand around this idea of sustainability, and it really clicks with their target audience.
I can see that. Not enough to just, slap a green label on something and call it a day.
Exactly. Consumers see right through that.
You want to see action.
They want real action.
Real transparency.
Exactly.
But how does storytelling fit into all of this? Is it just about brands talking about how sustainable they are?
Well, I think storytelling is more about connecting with your audience.
Yeah.
On a deeper level, like an emotional level. Think about some of Nike's most famous campaigns.
Yeah.
They're not just selling shoes, right?
Yeah.
They're telling stories about, achievement, resilience, pushing yourself.
Right.
Those stories, they resonate with their audience, and they create a really strong emotional connection to the brand.
Okay, so it's about weaving a narrative then
I think so.
that goes beyond just the product itself.
Absolutely.
Something that speaks to the brand's values, the audience's aspirations.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, okay, I get that. But isn't there a danger that brands could come off as preachy
Definitely.
or inauthentic?
Yeah, if they're just jumping on the sustainability bandwagon
Right.
just for, marketing sake,
Right.
consumers can totally see through that.
Yeah.
Authenticity is key.
Yeah.
It's not just about saying the right things.
Right.
You got to walk the walk.
Actions speak louder than words, as they say.
Exactly. If you're going to talk about sustainability, your actions need to back that up.
So be genuine, be transparent. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And don't just pay lip service to these values.
Right.
Consumers are smart.
They are.
They can see through the BS.
For sure.
Now, since we're on the topic of trust, let's talk about data privacy.
Okay.
It seems like every other week, there's another story about some company mishandling data.
Yeah, it's a big concern.
So how can brands build trust when data breaches seem to be happening all the time?
It's a challenge.
Yeah.
But the report highlights Apple as a leader in this area.
Oh, interesting.
They've made data privacy a core part of their brand.
Right.
And it's resonated with people.
It makes sense, right?
Yeah.
In a world where our data is constantly being, collected and shared, it's reassuring to see a brand that's prioritizing our privacy.
Absolutely.
But how do you balance that need for privacy with the need to reach consumers across all these different channels?
Yeah.
It seems tricky.
It is tricky. I think that's where omnichannel marketing comes in. Think about creating a really seamless experience for your customers, no matter how they're interacting with your brand, whether it's on your website, in your store, on social media.
Right.
The experience should be, consistent and personalized.
Yeah.
Sephora is a great example of a brand that does omnichannel marketing really well.
Okay. So we've got AI, voice search, sustainability, authentic storytelling, data privacy, and omnichannel marketing.
It's a lot.
I'm already feeling a little overwhelmed.
It is a lot to digest.
We're just getting started, though.
We are.
Up next, we'll be diving into the world of micro-influencers, interactive content, and that unstoppable force known as short-form video. So stay tuned.
It's going to be good. Welcome back. We covered some pretty big topics in the first part.
We did.
But honestly, the future of marketing is even more exciting.
Oh, I love exciting.
It's like we're just scratching the surface.
Yeah.
A whole new era.
I like that. I like that visual.
Yeah.
We were just talking about how important it is for brands to be authentic.
Right.
To build trust,
Right.
But in a world where there's so much digital noise and trends are always changing, how can brands actually stand out?
Good question.
How do they make those genuine connections?
Well, I think one way is through micro-influencers.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You might think, it's all about those mega influencers.
Right, the ones with millions of followers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But this report actually suggests that micro-influencers, the ones with those smaller, more engaged audiences, can be way more effective.
It makes sense. I mean, sometimes it feels like those big influencers, they're just promoting whatever brand pays them the most,
Yeah.
It doesn't feel genuine.
Right.
But how do you even find the right micro-influencers? It seems like finding a needle in a haystack.
It can be, but I think it's about identifying people who are really passionate, people who actually align with your brand values and genuinely love your product or service.
Yeah.
Glossier, the beauty brand, is a great example.
Yeah.
They've built a huge following by partnering with micro-influencers who really resonate with their target audience.
Like about those authentic voices then, right? Yeah. Not just chasing the biggest names out there.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, the report also talked about interactive content.
Oh, yeah.
And I have to admit, I am a sucker for those BuzzFeed quizzes.
I think we all are.
Are those really a powerful marketing tool, though?
They might seem frivolous on the surface.
Yeah.
But those quizzes, they're actually incredibly effective at engaging people and getting their attention.
Okay.
The key is to create content that people actually want to interact with, that they want to share, talk about.
Yeah.
The report actually said that interactive content gets twice the engagement of static content.
Double.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big difference.
It is.
I guess it makes sense, right?
Yeah.
People see so much content all day long.
Right.
If you could make it fun, make it interactive, it's going to stand out more.
It will. It will. And speaking of standing out, we can't forget about short-form video.
Ah, yeah.
It's really exploded in the past few years.
TikTok, right?
Especially on platforms like TikTok, yeah.
It feels like TikTok is taking over the world.
It kind of is.
And brands like Chipotle are, like, killing it on that platform.
Yeah, they are.
But is this just a fad? Will it still be around in a few years?
I don't think it's a fad. I think short-form video is here to stay.
Okay.
They predict that it'll be like 80% of all internet traffic by 2025.
80%.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's huge. It's not just a trend.
That's a whole shift in how we consume content.
It is.
I am officially convinced that I need to up my TikTok game.
Good idea.
What about augmented reality?
Oh, AR.
Yeah, AR. Remember that IKEA app?
Yeah.
The one that lets you see how furniture would look in your home?
Right.
Is that just a gimmick, or does AR actually have potential for marketers?
I think it's more than a gimmick.
Yeah.
I think AR can totally change the shopping experience.
Okay.
It lets people interact with products in a whole new way.
Yeah.
Like that IKEA app, it's a great example.
Yeah.
People are actually 40% more likely to buy something after they experience a product in AR.
That makes sense. It takes away the guesswork. You can actually see how something would fit into your life.
Yeah.
It's like trying before you buy.
Right.
But virtually.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've got micro-influencers, interactive content, short-form video, and AR.
What a list.
What else does this report have in store for us?
This next one might sound a little technical.
Okay.
But I think it's worth exploring.
All right, I'm listening.
Blockchain.
Blockchain. Isn't that like a cryptocurrency thing?
Well, yeah, it's the technology behind cryptocurrencies.
Okay.
But it has implications for marketing, too.
Really?
Yeah, it's all about trust and transparency. Think of it like a digital ledger that keeps track of transactions in a really secure and transparent way.
Like a public record?
Yeah, kind of. Everyone can see it.
Interesting.
So, for example, De Beers, the diamond company, they use blockchain to track their diamonds.
Oh, wow.
All the way from the mine to the customer.
Okay.
So it proves that the diamonds are real. It helps eliminate fakes.
Right.
And that builds trust with their customers.
That's really smart.
It is.
But how does this apply to, other businesses?
Yeah.
Ones that aren't selling diamonds or luxury goods?
Well, the principle's the same, right?
Okay.
Imagine a food company using blockchain to track their supply chain. So consumers know exactly where their food is coming from.
Okay.
Or a fashion brand using it to prove that their materials are sustainable.
Oh, that's a good idea. So it's about using technology to create a more transparent system.
Exactly.
Which ultimately builds trust.
Right.
Okay, I'm getting it. Now, the report also mentioned customer journey mapping.
Oh, yeah.
What is that exactly?
So customer journey mapping is basically understanding how your customers interact with your brand at every single point.
Right. Good.
From the very first time they hear about you,
Mhm.
all the way to when they buy something, and even beyond that.
So you're mapping out the entire customer experience.
Exactly. You're figuring out where the pain points are and where you can make things better.
So it's like creating a roadmap
You could say that.
for the customer experience
Yeah,
to make sure it's smooth, enjoyable, and hopefully leads to a purchase.
that's the idea.
Do you have any examples of companies that are doing this well?
Disney's great at this.
Of course.
They have that Magic Band program,
Yeah.
right? It tracks everything the guests do, their preferences, and that lets Disney personalize the entire experience
Wow.
from, how they entered the park
Yeah.
to their dinner reservations to even how long they wait in line for rides.
Wow. It's all about creating that seamless, magical Disney experience.
Exactly.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
I mean, they're known for their customer service.
they are.
So we've got blockchain for transparency
Mhm.
and customer journey mapping for personalized experiences.
Yep.
What else should marketers be focusing on in 2025?
Sustainability is a big theme throughout the report.
Right.
And one area that's often overlooked is packaging.
Packaging.
Yeah. Consumers want eco-friendly options,
Yeah, I've noticed that.
and they'll often pay more for brands that align with their values.
I definitely try to choose products with sustainable packaging.
Me too.
It just makes me feel better about my purchase. And it sends a message to brands. Any examples of brands that are innovating in this area?
Lush is a good example.
Lush, yeah.
They have those solid shampoo bars, no packaging at all,
Oh, that's so smart.
reduces waste, appeals to eco-conscious consumers.
It's a simple solution, but it's really effective.
It is.
It shows that sustainability doesn't have to be complicated
Right.
or expensive.
No, it doesn't.
Okay, let's switch gears for a minute
Okay.
and talk about CRM,
Okay.
customer relationship management.
Right.
I know it's important,
It is.
but it can feel overwhelming.
Yeah.
Where do you even start?
It doesn't have to be complicated.
Yeah.
The key is finding a system that works for you, that helps you manage your customer interactions, track their preferences, and, build those relationships. Starbucks is a great example.
Yeah.
They use CRM to create really personalized experiences and build loyalty.
Yeah, I love the Starbucks Rewards program.
It's a good one.
It feels like they actually know me
Yeah.
and appreciate my business,
Right.
but how do you use CRM effectively without being intrusive
Yeah.
or spammy?
Yeah. You don't want to annoy people.
No one wants to be bombarded with marketing messages.
It's about using data responsibly and ethically.
Okay.
The goal is to provide value,
Yeah.
to anticipate what your customers need,
Right.
and create those personalized experiences that make them want to keep coming back.
So it's about finding that balance
Yeah.
between being helpful
Right.
and being annoying.
Exactly. It's a fine line,
It is.
but when you get it right, it can be really powerful.
Okay. Now, there's another term I hear a lot. Programmatic advertising.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure I totally understand what that is.
It can be a little confusing. Basically, it's automated advertising.
Okay.
So it uses algorithms and data to target specific people and buy ad space in real time.
So it's like putting your advertising on autopilot.
Kind of, but, in a much more sophisticated way.
Yeah, okay.
It takes the guesswork out of it.
Right.
It makes sure your ads are reaching the right people at the right time.
Do you have any examples of this working well?
The Economist, the magazine,
Yeah.
they actually saw a 300% increase in subscriptions
Wow.
after they started using programmatic advertising.
That's huge.
Yeah.
So they were able to reach a really specific audience with personalized messages,
Right.
which led to more people subscribing.
That's it.
I'm starting to see how all of these seemingly separate ideas are actually connected. It's about using data
Right.
and technology and really understanding your audience
Absolutely.
to create campaigns that are personalized and impactful.
That's what it's all about.
Another thing that seems really important
Yeah.
is real-time customer service.
Oh, absolutely.
In today's world, people expect answers right away.
They do.
Immediate solutions.
Instant gratification.
Yeah.
That's how it is now.
I get so frustrated if I have to wait on hold for hours
Yeah,
or wait days for an email response.
I get it.
It makes me feel like the brand doesn't even care.
Right?
Are there any companies that are really good at real-time customer service?
Zappos is legendary for their customer service.
Oh, yeah, Zappos.
They're available 24/7,
Wow.
even on holidays.
Really?
And they always go above and beyond to make things right.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
It shows a real commitment to their customers.
It does.
The report mentioned chatbots, too, as a way to provide that quick service.
Yeah.
I'm not always a fan of chatbots, though.
Yeah, I understand.
They can feel really impersonal, and sometimes they're just not helpful.
Right.
So how can brands use chatbots the right way?
Yeah, you don't want to alienate your customers.
Right?
I think chatbots have gotten a lot better when they're designed well and integrated into the customer journey smoothly.
Right, yeah.
It can actually be super helpful.
Okay.
The key is to use them strategically, not to replace humans entirely,
Right.
but to answer those simple, frequently asked questions or to guide customers through an easy process so your human agents can focus on the more complicated issues.
So using chatbots to enhance the customer experience,
Right.
not to replace it.
Exactly.
Are there any brands using chatbots effectively?
H&M, the clothing retailer.
Yeah.
They use chatbots for customer questions to give style advice.
Oh, that's cool.
And even to process returns.
Interesting. So they're streamlining the whole shopping experience.
Yeah.
Making it easier for customers.
It's the goal.
We can't forget about social media, of course.
Of course not.
It's still a big part of the marketing world. And the report talked about shoppable posts.
Yeah.
Those are interesting.
They are. It's a great way to connect social media with e-commerce. You see something you like, you buy it right there in the post.
Yeah, it's so easy. I've definitely made some impulse purchases that way.
Me too.
Are there any brands that are really good at this?
Fashion Nova.
Oh, yeah.
They've got a huge social media following, and they really know how to use shoppable posts.
They drive a lot of sales that way.
A lot.
It shows the power of meeting your customers where they are.
Yeah.
Making it super easy to buy.
That's it.
Now, the report also talked about something called cause marketing.
Oh.
Right. Can you explain what that is?
Yeah, because marketing is basically about aligning your brand with a social cause, something that your target audience cares about.
So it's not just about donating money.
It's more than that. It's about integrating social impact into your brand.
Yeah.
Using your platform to make a difference.
So you're standing for something.
Exactly.
More than just profits.
Right?
Do you have any examples of brands doing this well?
Ben & Jerry's is a classic example. Yeah.
They've been advocating for social justice and environmental causes for years.
Yeah.
It's the core part of their brand.
It is.
Their customers know what they stand for.
Yeah.
And it makes them more likely to choose Ben & Jerry's over another brand.
Yeah. I always admired Ben & Jerry's for that.
They do a good job.
It makes me feel good about supporting them.
It's a win-win.
It is.
Yeah.
For the company and for the causes they support.
Exactly.
Now, let's talk about something that seems pretty basic, but often gets overlooked. Analyzing customer feedback.
Right.
Why is that so important?
Customer feedback is incredibly valuable.
Yeah.
It tells you what you're doing well.
Okay.
What you need to work on.
Right.
What your customers actually want.
So you have to listen to them.
Yeah.
And use what they're saying to improve.
Exactly.
Any company's doing this really well.
Spotify's a good example.
Okay.
They're constantly making changes to their algorithms and their features. Okay. Based on what users tell them.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So their platform is always evolving to meet the needs of their listeners.
That's the idea.
It shows that even the biggest, most successful companies can benefit from listening to their customers.
For sure.
And being willing to change.
Right.
Okay. Speaking of adapting, we got to talk about mobile optimization.
Of course.
I mean, more and more people are using their phones for everything.
Right.
It seems like a no-brainer.
It is.
But it's more than just having a mobile-friendly website, right?
It is. It's about the entire experience.
Okay.
It has to be seamless and enjoyable, designed specifically for how people use their phones.
So thinking mobile first.
Exactly.
Okay. Any companies doing this really well?
ASOS, the online fashion retailer, they've really invested in mobile, and their mobile sales have grown a lot.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
It's amazing how much retail has changed.
It is.
Yeah.
With online shopping and, the convenience of buying on your phone. It's hard for those brick and mortar stores to keep up.
It is.
It really shows the power of technology.
Yeah.
And how important it is to adapt.
It is. Now, speaking of adapting, we got to talk about virtual events.
Oh, yeah.
Something that really took off during the pandemic.
Right, right.
Do you think they're here to stay?
I don't know. I've been to a few, and they have their perks.
Yeah.
They're definitely more accessible, more affordable.
Yeah.
And you don't have to travel.
Big plus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But do they really compare to in-person events?
I think they do.
Yeah.
I think virtual events are here to stay.
Really?
Yeah, they're effective.
Okay.
They let brands reach a much bigger audience.
Mm-hmm.
It costs less.
Yeah.
And you can still create those really engaging experiences.
Okay. Any examples of companies doing virtual events well?
Salesforce, the software company, they've had some of the biggest, most successful virtual conferences. They're really immersive and engaging, just as good as their in-person events.
Wow.
So yeah, virtual events can be more than just, webinars or online meetings.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense. What about employee advocacy?
Oh, yeah.
The report mentioned that too. Can you explain what that is?
Yeah, employee advocacy is basically about turning your employees into brand ambassadors.
Yeah.
They know your company best.
Right.
They know your products best.
Yeah.
And their voices can be really powerful when it comes to reaching new people and building trust.
So you're tapping into the authentic voices of your employees?
Yeah.
Using their networks to spread the word?
Exactly.
Do you have any examples of companies doing this well?
LinkedIn's a great example.
Oh, okay.
They have a whole program that encourages their employees to share their expertise and insights on social media. So they become thought leaders, and they really amplify the brand's reach.
So your employees can be your most valuable marketing assets.
I think so.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Now, this is kind of related to employee advocacy, but what about knowledge sharing?
Oh, yeah.
What exactly is that?
It's basically about sharing what you know.
Okay.
Your expertise, your insights with your audience, and that helps you become a thought leader.
Right.
Build trust.
So it's not just about selling your product or service.
No.
It's about providing value.
Exactly.
Educating your audience.
Yeah.
Are there any companies doing this well?
HubSpot's great at this.
Okay.
They have tons of free resources, blog posts, ebooks, webinars. They've really become a go-to source for marketing information.
It's a smart strategy.
It is.
They're not just selling software.
No.
They're helping marketers succeed.
Exactly.
That builds trust.
It does.
It attracts potential customers. Okay, last topic I want to touch on is community building.
Oh, yeah.
Why is this important?
I think community building is about creating a sense of belonging.
Okay.
Connection among your customers.
Yeah.
It's about giving them a place to connect with each other and with your brand.
So it's about more than just transactions then. It's about building relationships.
Absolutely.
Creating loyalty that goes beyond just buying something.
It does.
Any examples of companies doing this well?
Peloton is a great example.
Peloton. Okay.
Yeah, they've built this amazing community around their brand, their online forums, their live classes.
Okay.
They really foster a sense of community and support.
Yeah.
People feel like they're part of something bigger.
Yeah, it's more than just a fitness brand.
Right.
It's a lifestyle.
It is.
Okay, we've covered so much here.
We have.
From AI and voice search to blockchain and community building.
It's a lot.
The marketing landscape is changing so fast.
It is.
It can feel a bit overwhelming.
Yeah, but I think it's also an incredibly exciting time to be in marketing.
I agree. We have all these new tools and technologies. We can create really innovative campaigns.
Yeah.
I like that.
Right.
As we wrap up this deep dive,
okay,
what are your final thoughts? What are the key takeaways for our listeners? It's a lot to think about, for sure. But, what strikes me is that even with all this amazing tech, it's still about human connection.
Yeah, absolutely. At the end of the day, all these strategies are about connecting with your audience on a human level.
Making them feel seen, heard, understood.
Exactly. I think the brands that will win in 2025 and beyond, they'll be the ones who get that.
The ones who put those human connections first.
Yeah, building trust, creating experiences that really resonate with people.
It's not just about broadcasting your message anymore. It's about having a conversation.
A two-way dialogue.
Yeah, meeting your audience where they are.
And that's what makes this such a fascinating time for marketing, I think.
It really does. It's constantly evolving.
You have to be creative, innovative, and really understand human behavior.
Definitely. The technology might be changing all the time, but those core principles, they stay the same.
Connecting with people, telling stories that resonate, building trust, that's what it's all about.
So as we wrap up, I'm curious, what really stood out to you, our listener? What sparked your interest?
Was it the AI stuff?
Micro-influencers, maybe?
Or how about blockchain and that whole idea of radical transparency?
It's a lot to take in. But whatever it was, the key takeaway here is to stay curious.
Yeah. Stay adaptable, never stop learning.
The future of marketing is wide open.
And it's going to be shaped by those who are brave enough to experiment.
So go out there and make some marketing magic.
That's a wrap for this episode of Undumb Marketing. If you liked what you heard, don't stop here. Check out our other episodes for more straight takes on today's hottest marketing topics. New episodes dropping weekly, so hit follow and stay ahead of the game. Got a question or topic you want us to tackle? Find us online and let's keep the conversation going. See you next time.